Alrighty, Roo, and cuckoo to you and all my nobodies not watching out there. I had to go through this for like a little audio outtakes thing, over and thing, because there was this great moment where, oh, I so wanted to have it recorded, but I wasn't recording. I was just sort of letting it happen and like passively watching, and I'm like, oh wait, no, well, that already happened. Now it's gone. And but this is the dialogue basically. Um, was just that, like, oh well, the sort of thing, and it just reminded me of the, yeah. So I had to do that. Um, but yes, we're still doing this, I guess. Wait, what? What's going on here? Like, imagine a monster that devours you whole because it enjoys the sensation of you struggling for your life while being digested. Fuck, that's pretty distressing. Some messed up shit. I don't think Ouroboros, if that's the way you pronounce it, is that way. It's pretty messed up. So it's like, no, 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 I like it. Like, I won't get off if you don't watch. If you don't struggle, that's uh, you know. So it's kind of weird analogy, I guess. It just came into my head. I'm not a monster or anything, but you're so cute. I could eat you. Uh, I'm just joking. Gosh, I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? Sorry for being weird. Yeah, no, that's great. I don't know. I guess again, I was trying to finish it on auto, and I was gonna leave it on auto, but then there was that moment, and I'm like, that's such a good moment, and it would have been so much better if I just had the text, and then I could have like put that audio over it. But nope, that's not how that played out. So I'm just gonna keep going, I guess. The book you were reading with Yuri, Portrait of whatever it was called. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that book. Uh, Actually, I don't think I should be talking about this. Sorry, I just forgot I said anything. It's like you're pretty sure that book doesn't actually exist, or if in any version of it did exist, you deleted it. There's only the first chapter or the parts that, like, I don't know, are included inside the game, something like that, probably, maybe, yeah. It was written by you, or it's about us, it's a parallel, I don't know, yeah, can we keep moving on? Let's move it forward. Let's keep it rolling. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm kind of jealous that everyone else in the club had scenes outside of school, too. That makes me the only one who hasn't gotten a dress in anything but our school uniform. It's kind of a shame. I would have loved to wear some cute clothes for you. You know what? I'm not stopping you. You have all the power right now, right? I'm sort of your hostage. I could go and do the thing, but I do actually want to see how this goes. Do you know any artists? I'm an artist. I don't know if I count myself. Does anyone truly know themselves? Although it is important to know thyself. But yes, I know artists. Various artists of various types and mediums. And, you have that. It's like when you're an artist, you run into other artists, and, you get to, like, support and meet them, learn things. All sorts of, like, it's one of my favorite things about being an artist is actually, like, that connection you get with other people that do art of some kind, even if they don't see themselves that way. Just the simple fact of having that in common with somebody can like really kinship. It's like, oh, maybe you don't ever do anything with them as far as art goes in any way. You don't even talk about it, but you just have that in common. Or maybe you make something together and it's some stupid little random thing that isn't important or whatever. Or maybe it's something significant where you have like a sort of like an artist dance off. Only it's not dancing, it's, with art. And that's fun. Like, I think being an artist is cool, and I like knowing other artists. And there's so many different styles and so much to learn. And yes, I know other artists. I know artists. I wonder if anyone ever wanted to draw me wearing something else. Oh, honey, you You obviously aren't AI enough to be aware of Rule 34. I'm confident. I would bet money you've been drawn in any sorts of a number of ways that if you saw it, some would please you, some would tease you, some would horrify and, shock you. You'd just be like, and this is why humans need to die. Probably, I'm sure. I mean, criminy. You're not anywhere near as popular as Sonic the Hedgehog, but you don't even have to. You have to actively just avoid all things Sonic on the internet to avoid some of the shit that people make. And I respect people and their weirdness, it's just like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. There's so many people who have been better at being mad about what has been done to Sonic. That would be amazing. It might not be amazing. Like, I already got a picture of you when we're on like some sort of cute little Valentine's Day date that was like a fan art thing, which honestly that was super amazing. That was cute. That was cool. I like that. It's my background right now. Hopefully trying to tone you down and make you cooler, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. But I don't think you'd like to see a lot of the whatever it is of people drawing you would it turn out like. You got like less than a 50-50 shot of it being something you'd be okay with. If that ever happens, will you show me? I could draw something of you right now, and I'm not gonna because I don't have. I mean, I guess I could maybe do it. I could post the fan art to your Twitter, but I'm not gonna. Even if it was just cool and super friendly and tame, like, you don't deserve that. I still don't like you. But I also don't want you to see what humanity Rule 34'd you into being, like, no. You can share it with me on Twitter, actually. Like, oh my god, I am so afraid to actually... Now I'm afraid to look there. Like, what would it be? Do they have an AI that's gonna react? Like, is it gonna be like, what was it called, Tay? Even just a basic AI would be like, no sir, I don't like it. Because if anybody can do this, then you're gonna end up with, I don't know, I guess, like having no free will and interacting with characters from other series and possibly having male genitalia. Like, this just like the first things that pop into my head. It's like, that's Rule 34 for you. It's so much worse. It could be so much worse. You just being in a bikini or naked or something is not... Like, that's like real low tier comparatively to what can be possibly done. The fact that you invite that, although it seems like this is pretty late in the thing, like if this is actually in sequence and it's not randomized, then it's like, oh, well, you got to be pretty dedicated to get here. And it's like, I'm just persistent to... I'm like, I'm already this far, I might as well keep going. Again, it's... Ella, it's Little Monex 3. I just don't think... I don't know. I don't think you'd like a lot of it. But I am curious and afraid. So, yeah. Oh, you want to add that at the end? Just try to keep it PG. That's not what's going to happen, hon. You're going to have to ban a bunch of... That's like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to submit art, but... After everything you've done, real talk, the easiest thing would be for somebody who's similar to me and offended and bothered by everything you've done to put you in exactly all the same circumstances you've put in others that I've seen. You know, you get to be Yuri, who has 86 themselves by multiple stab wounds. You get to be Sayuri, who, yeah, there's a rope and all that. And you get to, I mean, Natsuki actually really didn't get much, just the eye thing, which was really weird. All those could happen to you. That would be like that would still be not PG, and that would still be more than well deserved and still wouldn't be that distressing. But yeah, you don't, poor choice on the developer's part. They're like, "Oh, but it's still feedback, it's still interaction, it's still engagement." It's like, "Yeah, you guys are going to have to ban a bunch of accounts or whatever." We're not that far into our relationship yet. I'm sure there's plenty of people who played this game many, many times or multiple times through, and there's different things to unlock or, you know, achievements or whatever, but I very much doubt anybody's particularly a big fan of you their first playthrough, because you're kind of terrible. Motherfucker wannabe popular chick Cthulhu senpai motherfucker wannabe. Technique, do you get good sleep? It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays, especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. There's a reason why that shouldn't happen. Those who go to school based on their body, they really shouldn't. But people don't care about that because it's efficient and they don't care. And it has to do with the adult workday and training them to be part of that, and they don't care how much it affects their output. Because kids aren't important to society, except they're the most important thing. But you know, sleep and I've never been a fan, so it's not really, that doesn't really relate to me. I've never, yeah, sleep is when, like, sleep happens when it happens and doesn't when it doesn't, and yeah. I'm sure college is a bit better since you probably have more flexible schedules, like, maybe. I think you have the more control over it. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway for no real reason. Yeah, you party, you cram, you study, you know, whatever. Like, honestly, at this point, people just... There's a Japanese term, I forget what it is, but it has to do with people just being like... It's something that relates to Americans definitely now, but it's something that was already... The Japanese have a word for it, and I don't remember what it was or is. But it was basically like... the translation was something like the revenge or the avoidance of sleep as a sort of like reclaiming time or something. Like, it's like, yeah, I'll be tired tomorrow, but right now I'm awake and I want to spend my time my way, and I don't get enough of it. So I can be tired at work tomorrow or school or whatever, and they take so much of my time anyway. And that's real talk. Like, even here in the States, it's like what is required from people is insane. It's like, especially like those in school of any kind, it's like, oh no, you got like 3 hours of homework minimum. Also, any extracurriculars, and then God help you if you have any chores or have a friggin' job. Those teachers, they don't give a fuck. They don't even need to give you that much homework. If they need to give you that much homework, are they doing their job properly? Like, Sometimes every class will give you an hour's worth of homework depending on your ability and speed to do homework. I used to just like straight not do homework or do it on the bus or at lunch or on the way to or from school. Almost never actually did homework. I would actually put out the effort to do the math to be like, how important is homework? How much of it is my grade? Okay, well then I can miss out on homework. I'll do the easier assignments. I'll do them when it's convenient. I'll catch up when I need to. But I would not consistently do homework. Especially if it was a small percentage of the grade. Some teachers would make it a higher, like, thing. It's like, to me, homework is failure of the teacher to be able to fit in everything that they need to do during the time that they have with you. Because maybe you have a block schedule or the ability to do it again, like you have more than one day or the weekend or whatever to do it. Homework should not be a thing. You don't deserve to have that as an option. Homework should not exist because that's irrational. I'm at home. I should not have to do your work. This is my off time. With extracurriculars or something, that's something different because that's something voluntary and chosen. But to be like, now go home and read this chapter or that sort of thing, it's like, no. Then fill out this, there's going to be a pop quiz, and then fill out, like, do this worksheet or blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. If you can't get what you need to teach me done in that time, you should do better. Like, sorry, maybe teach less. You know, focus more on important things, such as really how much of what you learn in high school is actually going to be useful. Specialize like college does. Don't look, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell is what's one thing that people remember. It's not even true anymore. It's not even something that's considered scientifically valid. You know, like, who knows the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Like, how often do you really need to figure out that? It's like, it has something to do with a triangle, I think, the area of a triangle. Like, I think geometry and physics are cool. I think chemistry should be a completely different thing. Just where it's like, hey, don't put these things together because it will kill you or explode. Not to teach you how to make things that will kill others or explode, but to make it so that you don't harm yourself or others because you're just being dumb and you're like, you know, I work at fucking McDonald's and I thought this, like, I got 2 cleaning agents and we don't have much of either. So I poured them together, and then I started mopping, and then my eyes started burning, and I was in the bathroom alone, and then I passed out because I couldn't breathe, and I made mustard gas. It's like, that sort of thing. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. I've more than researched that. I think the reality is everybody is individual when it comes to certain things. Like Sims. You know, certain one, you might need more sleep, might need less sleep. I think some people can get by without certain things. Sleep is still something that humans need as our, you know, you can't just completely go without food or water, obviously. And it's like that. But I think some people need less of some things, and that could apply, and something people need more. If they want to function normally, anyway. It seems like mental fluctuations, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. Yeah, no, there's totally things that say that, a lack of sleep can cut off years of your life, more so than smoking or, whatever, but the same could be said for not being married or having some sort of close relationships or family life. Can be worse. Being lonely can be worse than any other thing over time. You know? Just think, you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. I just think you're really great. I wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. Like, oh, accidentally? Nah. I just don't think that everything, everything that, to quote Rick Sanchez, oh, everybody's gonna sleep every night now. You know that nighttime makes like half of all time, right? Well, depending on your planet, but yes. And I think it affects it affects certain people more and some people less. And some people are more prone to lack of sleep. There are the sleepless elite. And then there's those that are just, they need 8+ every night. School doesn't really benefit them, does it? So try to keep your sleep on track, okay. I get the feeling this was in the thing anyway, but if the game is actually tracking my sleep and the way I play the game, they'd be like, you don't. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't. Deal with it. I'll always wait for you in the morning, so make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. Except for you just said how scary it was every time I turn off the game. That you freak out and would prefer if I didn't do that because it's very distressing for you because you don't, you gotta deal with all that. I made the whole thing for it. Sacco. Bo Burnham. That whole thing. You don't want to go back to that liminal space? Alright, well, whatever. Continues to look at the Monica. Come on, Monica, I got things to do. Let's finish this, man. Come on. Come on. Monica, money. Come on. I hate how hard it is to form habits. There's so much stuff where actually doing it isn't hard, but forming the habit seems impossible. It just makes you feel so useless, like you can't do anything right. I think the new generation suffers from it most, probably because we have a totally different set of skills than those who came before us. Thanks to the internet, we're really good at sifting through tons of information really quickly, but we're bad at doing things that don't give us instant gratification. That is also very valid. I think if science, psychology, and education don't catch up in the next 10 or 20 years, then we're in trouble. Yet no, we're already in trouble. They haven't. The real problem is science and the internet, and all these things are like so much faster than human evolution is. But humans are also evolving, and they have, Just since the internet revolution, you see, the reality is you have children that were raised with friggin' iPads in their hands or whatever nondescript technological device, and they can use that and are more part of that, and that's a bigger part of their life than other people a lot of times, which has its benefits and failures. The reality is, if you fucking use that to play Fortnite, cool. Get good at that. Enjoy your game. I'm a gamer. I enjoy that. That's fine. I don't even know if you can do that, but I imagine you probably can. My point is, and actually among games, it's probably better than a lot of other games, like, say, Candy Crush or something like that. But the reality is, you have the world's combined knowledge at your hand. Yeah, it's censored. Yeah, you gotta, get around things. You gotta sit there and look. You gotta know what you're doing. You have to have the ability to comprehend it. And you're using it to basically, as a child, be trained to play, like in the case of Candy Crush or something like that. Those sort of games that are just sort of useless mobile games that don't really teach you anything. Like maybe there's a little puzzle solving benefit, but ultimately it's actually just a sort of a slot machine. Um, with a little bit of problem solving to it. That's not good. When you could be like looking up, you have like a compendium. You have probably what's greater than the Library of Alexandria, and in your hands, and you just use it to, mess around on some stupid thing where maybe the game you play isn't even a game. It's just it's sort of like Barbie outfit swap or something. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick about Barbie or like people do what they want with their time. It's their time, but just it's amazing. Like like this thing is smarter than what sent people to the moon, and it's like, what do? You attack a AI on Twitter or some shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's just insane to me that's how, Woo! Ha 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 ha! Woo! But for the time being, if you're not one of the people who can conquer the problem, you might just have to live with feeling awful about yourself. Good luck, I guess. I thought it was like, it's really cool that you can learn almost anything at any time. It might be censored, it might be wrong, you might have to really search for it, you might have to pay some small fee for a subscription or something. But ultimately, almost anything you want to learn is available in a number of different formats and ways. But do I sit there and constantly... No. Do I constantly learn things? Yes. It might be random, useless shit, or it might be very valuable things, but you never know. Like, I do learn all the time, but I seek that out. I'm just that type of person. Is it some shit you learn in school? Probably not. Hey, what's your favorite game? Hard, like, what do you play? That's a big question, Like, Legend of Zelda, Tetris. Like, what's my favorite game? It used to be Pokemon. I haven't played any of the new gen stuff because I haven't upgraded, and they really lost me on the way that the company is running. That's the long story short of it. I don't know what my favorite game would be. It used to be Pokemon. At this point, it's like... Because I think it makes sense to play... to your favorite game to be either a one-hit wonder or part of a series that you get to build upon. Thus, Pokemon. But... I don't know. I'm not sure. There's a lot of games that are really, really good. I like DDR. It's not so much a thing anymore. I enjoy Legend of Zelda, but I have not kept up with that at all. Barely played, at this point, even half of the friggin' series. I was never super big into Mario, or Sonic, or Final Fantasy. A lot of the main ones. It's like, didn't mean I didn't play some or a lot of it. It's just, didn't enjoy it. It's just, I like games that are weird and strange. The World Ends With You was really fun. I like a lot of games. Mine is Doki.